Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this pick a card reading. This reading is focused around love and romance. We're going to take a deep look into this soulmate contract that you might have on your mind at this moment in time. We do have 3 different cards to choose from to start off the reading, and we will live pull the rest. We have Unhooking the Past, Expanding Inner Power, and Unraveling Codependency. So card 1, 2, and 3. I will leave the timestamps down below. If you need a moment to pause the reading in order to choose your card, you can go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. All right. Group number 1, you guys chose Unhooking the Past. So let's get a deeper look into what's really going on, the truth behind of this soulmate contract. There's nothing to regret when I learn from my past. So already I'm getting the inkling or the idea that this is a relationship that you have a history with. Maybe you have things invested into this relationship, whether you have a house with this person, you have children with this person, you've been married or engaged to this person, but this does feel like a no contact kind of situation. Or if you are still together, there does seem to be some distance. There seems to be maybe almost like a 5 of Swords, cold, detached. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Love you, good night, but nothing really there. Almost like what happened. Like I'm getting a sense of like what is really going on. How did we lose what we once had? Where is the spark gone? Again, if it's not that, then there's definitely distance. This person is currently an ex, or you don't talk to them at all. But let's see what this unhooking the past is about. Now it says, learning that there are no regrets. That's a tough lesson when it comes to love, right? Understanding that every single contract, every relationship that you have has taught you something, has led you to where you are right now, and it shouldn't be anything that you should regret, even if it was a terrible relationship. I know that that's hard to accept, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but you're being asked to do that right now. Magical power. It is the dragonfly, and for me, a dragonfly, I learned a long time ago in a documentary that they can only look up or down. They can't look around them. So I'm getting a sense of like needing to really look deeper at the situation, to really look at it with truth. And that's what you're here for, right? I mean, this is what I kind of gave the intention of the reading, is to get to the truth than what's really going on. There's something magical here, or there was once. At one point, it felt like a magical fairy tale, or just maybe you guys fell in love fast, maybe you moved too fast. It seemed like a happily ever after. It seemed like, you had such stability and you had a lot of things in common, and it just seemed like the daydream. It seemed like the fairy tale. So what happened then? Let's see. Now you are needing to be aware and be conscious of the power that you are giving this situation, because this is energy transfer, right? Energy transference is extremely important. Energy exchange. If you're giving this situation, especially if it's a person that it's done and nothing's going to come from the situation, then you really are just continuing to give to energy that's dead, energy that needs to be cut, that needs to be cleared, that you need to move on from. Partnerships in love, nature spirits. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. This is a love reading. I almost want to say that the truth of this is that this person has a natural way of being, and you have a natural way of being, and then the relationship itself, the dynamic of the relationship, has a natural way of being. And it's almost like you're being asked to accept that it is what it is. Like this person, is who they are, and you are who you are. And to accept everybody's identity, and to accept everybody's flaws, and to accept everybody's strengths, and everybody's authenticity will help you to process the truth of what's really going on. Okay? There are things that for some reason you regret from the past in this relationship. So why is that? Right? You have to question, well, why? If this is a partnership built on love, and if this was once something magical and beautiful, why do I regret that? Because of current circumstances, or because of the outcome that it led to? We're going to get more. Definitely going to get more. But Tarot will tell us for sure. What is the truth behind this love partnership for group number 1? What is the truth? What's really going on? What are they not seeing? What is the truth? So you have the King and Queen of Pentacles. So it is, again, you guys had similar likes, dislikes, similar intentions, similar goals. You have built something solid and stable. So there was money invested into this relationship. There was time invested into this relationship. It is the King and Queen of Pentacles. So, and you have the Two of Cups. I feel like the truth is that somebody was played with. Somebody's emotions were played with. I'm going to clarify this. It was a soulmate. It was a partnership. So you are right in thinking that, okay, this was a very strong contract. It is. 100%. A heart-to-heart needs to happen here. Okay? Somebody needs to spill the beans. Somebody needs to say what they need to say. Somebody needs to let their emotions out. And then somebody else needs to apologize for playing with somebody else's emotions. This was a dream. This was a daydream. And it was a strong family foundation. But again, it's almost like somebody played with somebody's emotions. You're stressed out. You lost sleep. Somebody lost sleep and cried themselves to sleep every single night. I mean, they were very heartbroken. I will be honest, these two, for me, give player energy. So why is it that it's equal? Because it's not. I think on the surface level, it looks like this could be a strong, good relationship. But in reality, there's loss and regret. Again, regret. There's so much regret here. Okay? Why is there so much regret? Do you regret meeting this person? Do you regret giving them your heart? Do you regret, I don't know. Somebody regrets maybe having children with this person, or building a family, or moving in, or you know, spending so much time. Let's clarify. Queen of Pentacles. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past. This was a tough lesson. Group number 1. Queen of Pentacles. 5 of Cups again. I will say we have Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Taurus energy, if that resonates. Pisces over here. But time. I mean, this was real loss, real change. You have to remember that you are learning to take care of yourself. You're learning processing emotions, and you are learning how to deal with change because of this partnership. That's the truth. The truth is that it's gone. The truth is that you lost it. The truth is that you regret it, right? That's the truth. So how do you deal with that? Don't sacrifice passion. Don't sacrifice anymore. You are very hung up on this person. You are. That's enough self-sacrifice. Maybe that's why you got Pisces energy on the bottom. No more self-sacrifice. You, again, gaining enlightenment from this partnership. The truth is that you learned a lot about regret, about passion, about change, about loss. And I'm telling you, for at least one person watching, this was a destined soulmate to have a child with. And that was it. And unfortunately, sometimes that's what happens. We get chosen as parents, and we choose our parents. That's a theory. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but that is a common theory in the spiritual community, that we choose our parents. And that doesn't always mean that the parents stay together, right? Yeah. The truth is that it's time for a new relationship. I'm going to be honest. If things can't be done differently, if you are with this person, things need to be done differently. Somebody needs a different perspective. You both need to understand that it's time for a fresh, clean slate, a fresh new start, a blank canvas to work from. Otherwise, we're going to go back to somebody being made a fool. Again, marriage, love, and then abandonment. How does that make any sense, right? Somebody is feeling unloved in this dynamic. Somebody's feeling unsupported. Somebody's feeling shut out, left out in the cold, left behind. But at one point, there was commitment and love. At one point, there was loyalty. At one point, there was 100% faith in the relationship. So what happened? Somebody left. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the majority of people watching right now. There is separation. There is no contact between you and this person, or very little contact if there is any, but you definitely don't live together anymore, or you're in the process of moving out, or someone's in the process of leaving the other person. And there's a lot to understand. There's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of stuff to figure out, whether it comes to kids, pets, the mortgage, who's going to stay here, who's going to move out, child support, something like that. Legal stuff that needs to be figured out. And it just feels like you are losing more than you are gaining. Like it's a very big loss. And unfortunately, the person, whoever left because they felt trapped in the relationship. They felt stuck. They felt like their freedom was being hindered. But then it left the other person feeling abandoned, feeling alone. Also, remember, if you're working through feelings of loneliness, you have to try not to invest all of your energy into this relationship, because that's going to hinder your spiritual journey. I know it sucks and I know that it's hard, but you have to remember not to feel so attached to any person. This doesn't have to be just romantic, or any place or thing, anything, to the point where you lose your self-identity, and to where you lose your independence, right? To the point where you feel like you need them because you're so lonely. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now it's a waiting period. It's a waiting period. I think that you're holding on to the idea that maybe they'll come back. But this is a karmic loop. I'm going to be honest with you, group number one. The truth of the situation is that this is a loop. You're looping with this person. It's like a slingshot. Okay? Boomerang, whatever you want to call it. You send it out, it comes back. You have to know when to stop. You have to really review. You have to assess. You have to stop waiting and hanging on to this idea that they're going to come back. Because at the end of the day, it taught you things. It's not something that you should regret, but it is from your past. And your past needs to stay in the past. You can't keep carrying shadows of the past. And you have to know how to stop lying to yourself. This is a tough reading for somebody, because you are kind of in this period or in this energy where you feel like you have to make up stories to continue to invest in something that is gone. It's gone. It's never coming back, and you have to accept the truth of that. All right? If you need more clarification, book a personal reading with me in the description box. Otherwise, I hope that this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, group 2, you guys chose expanding inner power. So let's see what you need to know as far as what is the truth of what's really going on in this relationship. So, I am most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. So this feels like it's lackluster. This feels like, I don't know, like the spark isn't there anymore, or making sure that your creativity is given a voice. Making sure that you are given a voice. I think that that's, if this is expanding on your inner power, right, then have you turned into the yes man? Have you turned into a people pleaser? I'm getting heavy Libra energy, okay? Where is your independence? Where is your identity? Where's your self? Your vibration of self. Is it being honored in this dynamic, in this relationship? Can you speak up? Are you allowed? Oh, see, there it is. Why am I asking if you're allowed to be given a choice or a voice? That's interesting. Let's see. Group number 2. What's the truth of their dynamic, of their relationship? I like that. I do like that. I do think that you definitely need to speak up, though. There's something here about speaking up. You are strong enough internally. You have some fears. You have some doubts about this dynamic. You have the answer within. So that's definitely a message. Why do you feel scared? Or like you're not allowed to voice your opinion or voice your thoughts or set boundaries? Or what's going on here, group number 2? Because I do feel like this is not a bad relationship. Like, I feel like this is not a typical, like, this is nothing like group number 1. Group number 1 was in a toxic, unhealthy situation. This feels like it's not that bad. That there's just some certain fears and doubts. This is something, you're about to go through a lucky break in this dynamic, in this relationship. You're about to hit a pivotal point. There's been studies and research done, okay, on the 3-month and the 6-month period in any relationship. That's usually when, by the time you're 6 months in, everybody's true colors are shown. And you really know if you can or you want to be with somebody for the rest of your life. So I feel like it's something like that. Like you're going through a timeline shift with this person. And some big, big fears and doubts are coming up. Look towards your creativity. Look towards your sacral and your solar plexus, because there could be some self-esteem issues there or inner child stuff that's coming up. Some fears and doubts again. Group number 2. Decisions from your higher self. Well, I did recently put up a higher self pick a card, if you want to check that out. But your higher self is trying to help you make a decision. I feel like this person has a lot to give. But what's going on? Are you stuck? Okay, maybe you're stuck deciding between this person and somebody else. Or you might be stuck deciding because of a past version of yourself. You're getting pulled in a different direction. Even though this dynamic, this relationship is a good relationship. They are a good soulmate. This is a good situation. I'm telling you. I feel like the truth of this is that you're just scared. I'm going to be honest. I know that sucks. But you didn't click on this reading to get, for me to hold your hand and walk you through this, like, and baby you. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but I'm telling you the truth that you need to hear. You're scared. You're scared of getting your heart broken. You're scared of things going south. You're scared that you're making the wrong decision, the wrong choice, but you are. This is good. This is a good thing. You have to, your higher self is saying, look, accept something good for once in your life. You deserve it. You've gone through enough heartbreak and pain. You've gone through enough lessons. All right, let's see. I really like that. So I'm expecting some nice cards. If there's some negative cards, I already know it's something to do with the past. Group number 2. Yep. This person that you're dealing with is emotionally mature. They're emotionally grounded. Gorgeous cards. Except for that, which I know this is your internal fighting. Communication is so important here. The truth is that you need to communicate your fears. Your inner power. Your solar plexus is really going through a realignment at this time. So really focus on healing and aligning your solar plexus. This relationship is either a rebirthed relationship, so I don't want to say that it's an ex coming back, nothing like that. It's rebirthed in a way that we can't understand on a human level. Okay, this is a rebirth that's got to do with spiritual stuff that doesn't matter how hard we try, we're never gonna figure it out. Okay, this is soul level stuff. But okay, well maybe for someone it is. I don't like to say that because I don't want to give out energy that's like toxic or unhealthy. Please don't invest in something that's toxic or unhealthy or abusive, because obviously that's not what we're talking about. But this is a second chance or a second opportunity for somebody watching right now. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe it was somebody you went on a date with one time, but like it just wasn't right, or it wasn't the right time or something, and then now you're realizing now is the right time, or now things are different. That's all I want to say is things are different this second time around for somebody watching. For the rest of you, it's a rebirth on a level that we can't understand. And there's no way for me to even tell you, because this has to do with higher self stuff, okay? This has to do with the past, the present, and the future. Like all timelines converging into one kind of like weird, esoteric stuff. But it is a reciprocal relationship. The person that you're dealing with is emotionally mature. I have Leo energy and I have Scorpio energy if that resonates for somebody. Leo twice. So you're fighting yourself. You have this big internal battle going on. When you don't realize that you have to overcome these fears, these obstacles of self, to accept something that is very happy and very freeing. Six of Pentacles. The hand of God is trying to give you something. Death. There's that rebirth and transformation. Death is coming back and saying, let's stop this idea of giving and receiving that's old, that's decaying, that's fermenting and stinking up your environment, your aura, your vibration. It's stinking it up. Say goodbye to any old ideas of giving and receiving. King of Cups, the Two of Cups. This person is a match. This person is a match in a good way, in a positive, healthy, happy way. Page of Cups. You keep fighting yourself. They've got an offer of love to give, or an offer of forgiveness if this is the second time. Okay? This is, it's purely intended. It's good intentions. Good intentions. I wouldn't lie to you. I am not a bullshit reader. Okay? Whether I'm doing a personal reading or a collective reading. I will not lie to you. And I'm telling you right now, this person has good intentions. Make the decision. Okay? Look, very. I think that you're scared or you're worried that this might move too fast or move too quickly. It's not. Now, I've got Libra and Gemini energy also, by the way, if that resonates with someone. This is an opportunity, very decisive. That's the Queen of Swords. She's extremely decisive. She doesn't question anything that she does. She just decides. No more, is this a missed opportunity? Am I moving too fast? Am I making the wrong decisions? You got to move through that, okay? Rebirth and transformation of the self is happening through this dynamic. So this is also one of those soulmate contracts where it teaches you things and it teaches them things. Ace of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. You can move forward with this person. You want to move forward with this person. There's also even a sensual sexual attraction with this person. Just a powerful attraction with this person. You can build together. You can rebuild if this is the second time. You can grow together. Things are about to get smoother. You can move forward. It's like, look, take all the mental notes that you have from the past, okay? This is good luck. Take it with you as a learned lesson, as a life lesson. And then, but don't let that affect this current relationship, this current decision. Sun card for group 2. Four of Cups again. Don't reject it. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend like it's not there. Your feelings are there. You're trying to pretend like you don't feel for somebody the way that you feel for them. Yep. You're trying to close yourself off. You're trying to hide away. You're trying to shut your heart out to something that could potentially be exciting, inspirational, attractive, invigorating, inspiring. Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? At the end of the day, this is a conversation that you have to have between you and your higher self, right? Because you have to ask yourself, why am I rejecting happiness? Why am I rejecting the truth that I don't deserve happiness. Okay? If you need more clarification, book a personal reading with me in the description box. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, group number 3. Let's see what the truth is behind this relationship or dynamic. I mean, you chose unraveling codependency, so we can kind of get an understanding a little bit already on what this feels like. So let's see what the message is. Only I have to feel good about my choices. This is definitely, clearly independence versus codependence. The truth is that you are the creator. You are the sole decider, provider, protector, whatever, okay? Only you can decide. What's going on with that? There's a need to go back to self, okay? There's a need to really question if it is healthy to be so attached or so codependent on a person, or to let old codependencies affect your current relationship. Because I feel like I'm dealing with two different people, or two different groups of people. I'm not going to take that. Group number 2 chose that. Okay, here's what I want to say. If you're feeling like you had issues of the past that's affecting your current relationship, stop watching this right now. Go to group 2. Watch group 2. That's your message. I'm now only talking to people who feel like they are dealing with codependency in their current relationship. Okay. That was it. That was it. Are you serious? Oof. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to take all those. I don't like to take all those. Overcome fear. To let go. And to cut ties. This is the sword of truth. The sword of truth is that it's time for some cord cutting. Yep. It's time to let go. Some of you, it's the fear of being loved, which again, go back to group number 2. You're doing too much. You're sacrificing self too much. You are so worried about taking care of this person, loving this person, providing for this person, protecting this person. Where's you? Where are you in the picture? You have to cut that. Maybe you don't have to cut the person completely. We'll see what the rest of the cards have to say, and always, always, always use your own discernment on that. I'll never tell you to break up with someone fully, but if the guidance is there, it's there. Life force. Yeah. See what I mean, though? This is what I'm talking about. It's draining your life force. Aphrodite, Venus, the planet of love and relationship. But she is firstly, okay? It's like Liz Green talks about this. She is firstly the relationship to self, the love of self. Aphrodite can be a selfish person, but in a good way, because she says, I don't need anyone. I want someone. There's a difference between those two. And that's also the difference between independence and codependence, right? You don't have to have someone, but you're okay with it. You're open to it. You want the person, but you don't need them. If you need someone, then there's the obsessive and attached energy that's going to affect the relationship, which then, of course, affects life force energy, because then life force is being drained from the self, literally, from the self. What's going on with you, group number 3? You have to feel good about that choice. I can't tell you what to do. Spirit can't tell you what to do. Do you feel good about the choices that you're making right now in this relationship? You have to ask yourself that. That's the truth. Where do you need to cut and let go of? And where do you need to overcome fear and obstacles and challenges of those, or fears of those obstacles and challenges, I should say. I think deep down you want change. I think deep down you want something real. I think deep down you know that you're fighting yourself. I have Aquarius and Leo energy on the table, if that resonates. The truth is that something needs to change. You need a timeline shift in this relationship, and you're about to receive one. If you don't do it, the universe is going to do it. Basically, that's what this is saying. And then you're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others in order to move on. What do you want? What is it that you want? Don't look to anybody else for that answer. Sit in yourself. Sit within your own space. What do you really want? Group number 3. What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you satisfied? These are 2 cards together about wish fulfillment, so I'm going to have to clarify that. Because I feel like you're wishing that you could let go or cut ties with someone because you realize it's cutting into your life force. It's draining your life force. There's some arguing. There's some tension. There's combative energy here. Because people's, your opinion, their opinion, your viewpoint, their viewpoint, your vision, their vision. It's 2 different things. 2 different things. That's not to say that 2 different people can't work out. But then somebody turns codependent, right? Because they make the other person's identity their identity. The identity of the relationship becomes the priority instead of the identity of each individual person. So, right now you have to ask, and this is the truth, okay? What is worth fighting for? Is this worth fighting for? Is this worth... I'm going to see what this is because it's interesting to me that I'm seeing wish fulfillment and wish come true. The truth. You want the truth. Look at that sword of truth up and down. The truth is that you're contemplating, you're questioning, you're asking yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth to keep putting time? Is it worth to keep giving love? Is it worth to keep putting effort? To keep tilling the land? To keep watering it? To keep giving it food? Giving it the sunlight? Is this going to grow? Is this going to grow? Is this going to grow? You keep asking yourself that. Is this what I want? Is this what I'm hoping for, praying for, wishing for? Or am I forcing things to be what they're not? Do you have to feel good about your choices? Do you feel good about the idea of a new beginning? Do you feel good about wanting real love? You should feel good about wanting real love, about wanting something real, not going through the motions with another person. I think you're deciding between 2 people. I'm going to be honest. I really think you're deciding between 2 people. We got Scorpio energy and Aquarius energy again. That's the second time of Aquarius. But I think you're choosing between 2 people. And the second person might not exist yet. It's just another relationship that hasn't manifested. And maybe you're trying to manifest. Maybe you're trying to let go of an old person in order to manifest a new relationship. I don't know. You need heart and mind coherence, though, to figure this out. I know that this is going to be annoying for me to say, but I almost want to say I can't even give you the truth right now because you already know the truth. You're worried about restructuring. You're worried about rebuilding. You're worried about letting things collapse. You're stressed and anxious about the collapse of the old. Things falling apart that aren't stable, that aren't grounded. You're scared of being vulnerable. The fear is of vulnerability, and the fear is of rebuilding, starting over. You have to forgive. You have to stop putting so much burden on yourself. You have to stop blaming yourself. You have to forgive yourself. Also, love offers should be well-intended. They should have good intentions behind them. They shouldn't be burdens. They shouldn't be overwhelming. They shouldn't be painful. That doesn't make sense. Those are not love offers. Those are manipulative offers. I will say that because somebody needs to hear that. you are feeling lonely, you're feeling abandoned, you're feeling left out. Maybe you're single. Maybe this is for somebody who's single and just can't seem to find the right person. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you're working through feelings and fears of abandonment, of codependency, and that's the truth. And the truth is also that you need to make peace with some bad, some relationships that have left a bad taste in your mouth, some bad endings, some sudden, unexpected endings of relationships. Betrayal. You need to make peace with betrayal. You need to make peace with your inner self, okay? You need to make peace with fear and anxieties and abandonment and trust issues. It takes time. I'm not saying you have to do this overnight. But you're drained. You're tired. You are so tired of love, and that's sad. Love is the highest frequency. Real love. That's why you got the Ace of Pentacles twice. The luckiest card in the tarot is popping up for you. Real love does not give off desperation, codependency, anxiety, and stress. Do you get what I'm saying? If you need more clarification, my website is in the description box for a personal reading if you'd like to book one, or check out another reading on the channel. There's plenty. But I do hope that this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.